here we go. These are, okay, so I was saying this is an exciting matchup because Kairos is actually at the top of Division 1 with a 4-0 record, and 2 + 2 = team is 5th in the division with a 4-1 record. So we have the 1st and 5th teams in Division 1, and they are, oh man, I can't even imagine what the worst build would be. Maybe like no talent Abathur. Just force me to slap. Alright. So here we go. Battlefield of Eternity was 2 + 2 = team's choice. We've seen them on this map before, and we've seen G's Illidan come out here before and completely just wreck face. So we'll see if that happens again. We'll see if Kairos has scouted that before. First ban Sylvanas, of course. Everyone knows by now the Immortals pushing with the Sylvanas is just crazy value, and in return 2 + 2 = team does what they have to do and bans Malfurion. Now this leaves some powerhouses, although some of those powerhouses were nerfed earlier today. We saw Chen nerfed. We saw Vala buffed actually. So that could be a possibility. Very popular picks here are Lunara, Li Ming, good pokers. Very often you end up having a lead and then the other team defends and you kind of have to poke from range. And you just kind of slowly whittle it down while trying to remain safe, so Li Ming's very good for that. They're going to try and both preempt the Li Ming pick with Greymane, and of course Greymane is one of the best Immortal racers. With all his extra damage, if he's allowed to stay in wolf form and DPS down the Immortal, he has a very good time, and his team will likely win the Immortal. Although, you know, some comps will surprise you, as I found out last week. I thought one team would totally win the Immortal race, but the other team just had so much surprising damage. So there we go, we see a Li Ming come out. I know Ji also plays Li Ming, so we'll see if he's going to be piloting her. Just a reminder, if you like the cast or anything, or if you want to keep track of any of my other Chair League casts, please click the follow button. I cast at least 4 games a week of Chair League, so a lot of them from Division 1, so very good teams coming up. 2 + 2 = team, of course, is a team I've been following for a few weeks now. Ever since I became a Division 1 caster, they've been very fun to watch. Their shot calling is very good, and in talking to G, she was saying McNulty on the team actually makes the calls, and he has very good calls, I think. I think last week they had a good core call. Yeah, that's right. They went like bottom lane and just went for the core in a very decisive manner and won them the game. So okay, so Muradin, very stable tank, a very good team fighter, provides a little bit of everything, which is fantastic. And he has that unique advantage where he has like a self fountain. If he manages to disengage from a fight after taking up a bunch of damage, soaking up a bunch of ability cooldowns, and he disengages, then he just heals up with a 2nd or 3rd win, and then he can come right back in. Very, very tough tank to kill. ETC is really good, especially with Greymane on this map, because of course he provides his team with attack speed aura every time he uses one of his abilities. So with the 40% increased attack damage with Greymane in wolf form and the ETC aura giving him attack speed, that will be that means they win the DPS race on the Immortals, at least so far. We'll see what else 2 + 2 = team will round out in their composition. They could still go for something like a Tyran to try and win the race. Raynor has a similar attack speed buff. Rhaegar is a very good pick again, and a very common pick we see on Battlefield of Eternity. That's because his level 1 talent, Lightning Bond, will give him a lot of DPS on the Immortal. Oh, and you can see T+2 team thinks Kairos will actually go with the Tyrant, so they ban it out. That means they weren't looking to go with it themselves. That signifies to me that 2+2 team is probably not looking to race the Immortal. They are probably going with a team fight comp and then forcing it down Kairos' throat. They're just going to defend, and then when they've killed everyone, then they can worry about the Immortal. I think that's what they're going for here. And they ban out another popular healer in Oriole. Now, most of the healers have been kind of squeezed out from 2+2's hands, so they could still go for some powerful combos though. Team fighting combos like Uther plus any diver. Brightwing is still available. Brightwing is very popular, or was actually before the Malfurion buffs. Now Malfurion has kind of taken over top spot, so with Oriole banned out, that's kind of most of the popular healers unavailable. So let's see what 2+2 decides to do. Lunara with Nature's Culling, not a surprising choice at all. So, I mean, even if you go for a team fight comp, you still need to DPS down the Immortal fast enough before the other team respawn. So a Lunara with something like Nature's Culling, although I have seen Lunaras not even take Nature's Culling on this map, so not a guarantee, but a Lunara with Nature's Culling will help in that area. And there's the Brightwing, as predicted. Even on a small map like this, her teleport is very valuable. You can help either lane. You can help at camps. We haven't seen the Pixie Charm come out, especially on this map, of course. But you know, she can protect the squishy backlines, the backline which they have 2 so far with Polymorph, and of course her Pixie Dust. So we see Vala and Alarak come out. Now, like I said, Vala was slightly buffed in the patch. I don't think it was significant at all. It was some talents, a couple underused talents maybe. But Alarak is really strong right now. We see him picked a lot in Korea. And so to answer that, we see a double frontline in Artanis. Now, Artanis has been seeing once again, seeing some play in Korea, once again, although the same team picked Alarak and Artanis. So forming the Protoss team, I guess. So now we see them on different teams. The blind is going to interrupt Greymane's damage and buy them a few seconds if they need to race down the Immortal, if it comes to that. It doesn't really affect Alarak too much. Alarak is an ability-based combo hero, really. So, but Vala, another heavy auto attacker who will suffer from the blind if that's what Artanis takes. I'm guessing that's what Artanis takes, the blind ult. I don't really see the laser one being too useful. But like I said, Kairos is undefeated, so their draft looks really good, and their Alarak player is probably really good. So, and here we go. All the players are ready. Once again, this is Chair League Season 3, and this is a Division 1 game between 2 of the top teams in Division 1, number 1 versus number 5. Can 2+2 team hand Kairos their first loss? That is the question. Looking at these two teams, I would say I have to favor Kairos' draft a little bit more, but that is probably because I'm not very familiar of how impactful Artanis can be. Now, amateur opponent, actually, I forgot to mention that. Amateur opponent on this map is amazing, so that's probably why they even drafted him. Now they're probably win the DPS race on the Immortals. Okay, so introducing Kairos, we have Insane on ETC, Blank on Vala, Spagooter on Greymane, Rubies on Alarak, and Siryu on Rhaegar. Siryu being one of the Japanese elemental gods, I believe so. Or seasonal gods? Elemental gods, I think. Anyway. Tracer Bullet on Artanis. McNulty on Brightwing. Axon on Lunara. Ji on Li Ming. And Jeeves on Muradin. And that's 2+2 equals team. So we see Alarak just... or Artanis is kind of dancing back and forth out here dangerously. Meanwhile, they're taking out the well up here. Now, this isn't the most important thing. I mean, it will help out in the laning, of course, to take out this well. But this map has an extra well in the middle here for the Immortal phase. So. And it looks like they sent all 5 up here. And it looks like Muradin's going to go down. So they traded Muradin for a well. Still not too bad. I mean, you see they're winning in XP still because all this time Artanis has been soaking, and we do see amateur opponent come out for Artanis at level 1. I love amateur component here. And Aether Walker, of course, this has long been theorized as one of the maps that Aether Walker is viable for. You get some free damage during the Immortal phase when you take Calamity, and it's such a small map that mounting up doesn't even have to be worth it if your teleport's free. So you see Li Ming going back to base now though, and we'll see where she goes. Keep an eye on that. Natural Perspective, Standard, and Hypershift for Brightwing. Now, I've seen Peekaboo taken a lot on this map, so we'll see if the Brightwing... Oh, actually Vala gets pressured. She's going to go down, probably. Yes, there we go. Muradin's in trouble now, though. She went a bit deep, and G actually blinks in before he has Calamity, and they lose that battle. But they've got an early start on the Immortal, and 2 people defending here already. So they're going to have quite a big advantage, and of course amateur opponent is already doing so much work. And look at that, even does the Q through the Immortal to dodge the melee circle. So great play coming out from Tracer Bullet so far. And look, Artanis doesn't even worry about the fight. He knows his job is to just keep using the Twin Blades on the Immortal with amateur opponent. But he can't ignore them forever. Yeah, he has to go back, and that's a nice totem right in this choke point. Oh, Greymane almost gets taken down, and you look at this sneaky Muradin just doing a little bit of damage on the side here while everyone was chasing. And here's the poking situation I was talking about earlier, and why Li Ming is so good for this map. You see one team is defending their Immortal, and the only damage you can get is by this kind of poking damage. So, and Li Ming has such great range that she can do this. Okay, now they're going to try to make for kills, and you see that Kairos is in the level lead, and looks like Artanis is definitely going to go down. He has no escape, and there's no helping him. So they paid for this Immortal with blood. That is for sure. Now, the Immortal is probably going to get this front wall. Maybe a little more than that. Maybe the fort, and if they do, then they're going to catch up in experience. Alarak is going against Brightwing one-on-one down there. Brightwing shouldn't be in too much trouble in that lane, but if he gets caught in a combo, then she can be for sure. Okay, so you see the EXP lead is erased, and they have a structure lead now. And you do see the Peekaboo at level 4 for Brightwing. Okay, let's see, other level 4 talents. We didn't have a chance to catch up on that. Thunderburn, better for DPSing the Immortal, and Very good for controlling the space, dismounting people in the middle of the between the immortals. Dominance and Templar Zeal. Templar Zeal, I feel like, is probably the only viable talent for Artanis at level 4. We see Thick Skin, actually, for Greymane at level 4. I'm so used to seeing Dark Flight, or whatever, the Eyes in the Dark, rather, that this is kind of new. I guess this is pretty good, though. I guess against Artanis, especially. See Healing Totem, Speed Metal, Punishment, and Double Cross. Okay. So we see the Alarak build is the Korea build. Going with the Double Cross at level 4. That's the build I've been trying to learn to play, but I find Alarak very hard to play without the quicker Q at level 4. But of course I'm not as good as these players, so... Alright, so they're putting a little bit of pressure on the bottom here, and they have these Khazra Spearmen working out. Oh, there's a fight going on between Alarak and Muradin. That's not really a fight that Alarak wants to take, and he goes down. Oh my goodness. There's... Oh, and another kill, and these resets are stacking up for the Li Ming, and they're going to get an early advantage on this Immortal for sure. Now, of course, the death timers are still very low, so not impossible that Kairos can win a fight after the half and then come back into this. We do see Nature's Culling picked up for Lunara, and that means the Immortal race is on. 2+2 = team is going to take down the Immortal so fast if left unchecked, and that's why you see Kairos is checking them. Oh, Artanis. Oh, nice swap there to get out. Beautiful. And Vala's is taking all this pokes. Sitting in the healing totem, though, healing her back up a little bit, and Rhaegar takes care of her. So we have a fight it's kind of reset. We have people tapping for mana. Li Ming just keeps poking at the Immortal. This is exactly why Li Ming is so good. She gets silenced, though. Oh, and they switch targets right away onto Artanis. That was beautiful by Kairos. They knew as soon as Li Ming was out, even though they got her in the silence, they knew they couldn't chase her down, and they immediately switched to the easy target in Artanis. Great coordination there from Kairos. And now Li Ming just keeps doing her little poke damage, Brightwing even contributing. Uh-oh, they need to be careful. Li Ming especially. Lunara's way out of position and gets caught. Muradin needs to just run away and group up with his team. There we go. And of course now his passive does a lot of work. Look at how fast his health goes back up. He's right back to half health. Uh-oh, Li Ming got caught. Is he? Oh, she gets comboed down by Alarak with ETC's setup. So now it looks like they're chasing, but there are 3 on 4 here, and it looks like Greymane all this time has been dealing damage to the Immortal all by himself. Looks like Muradin is gonna go down to Rhaegar. No, okay, the fight was not enough. And then Brightwing dies somewhere else. I didn't see that. Oh, that must have been down here. And it looks like Kairos is gonna win the second Immortal. Wow. After Nature's Culling came out, they just couldn't get on the Immortal. They took the fight very split, though. You saw, like, Li Ming and Brightwing were down here, and then everyone else was coming in from the top end. So they never really got the whole team together and couldn't get their synergies together to fight. I'm not sure if that's how they wanted to take it. We'll see if they make any adjustments next Immortal phase. But for now, they just have to clean up this Immortal. It shouldn't do too much damage. It'll get the wall, just like they did. Unless they can force a couple of kills. Muradin, oh, look at all that damage. I'm not used to seeing Muradin go down quite this fast, but they need to be very careful since they don't have their heroics yet. And on the bottom side, it looks like Vala and ETC have taken the bottom fort, and this is why they're going to engage. They know that 2 of their team isn't here, but here comes ETC with the stage dive. We've been seeing this pick a lot more lately. Lunara goes down. Muradin is next. No, he pops the avatar just in time. Nice avatar. But Brightwing is strafed down, and Muradin's going to go down instead. Artanis has no hope of living, and it's a full team wipe. Everyone is dead. Now 2+2 = team is in a little bit of trouble. The game is not over by any means, but they're down a talent here and 3 levels. It's going to be very tough, especially on this map. This is a small map, and I say this, I feel like kind of every week, but it is a small map that doesn't really lend itself to crazy plays to try and come back. You just come back on having a good immortal phase, having a good defense, and trying to get back your advantage that way. So looking at some other talent. So we saw Artanis did get the blind. He did use it last fight and blinded 3, but that still didn't matter. We see Emerald win taken from Brightwing, and Disintegrate for Li Ming. Disintegrate will help, you know, do that little bit of extra long range damage to the Immortal if he needs it. See Unfettered Assault for Raymain. You know, it used to be that people took On the Prowl all the time for Greymane, but now it seems like I see Unfettered Assault more often than not. Earth Shield, Face Melt, Tempered by Discipline. Okay, we see, you know, kind of a 50-50 between Tempered by Discipline and Gloom usually. With Li Ming on the other team, I wondered why Gloom wasn't the better choice here. Oh, a Stormbolt comes out as ETC power slid in, but Muradin actually manages to make it out with his avatar, and now he could try to heal up with his passive and then re-engage. Oh no, Brightwing got caught out in the middle of his Emerald Wind. That was a great power slide by ETC. And without their healer, there's no way they can fight. Oh, and without their tank now too. And, well, there you have it. It looks like this Immortal is going to go to Kairos as well. And with that, it seems like certainly this should be a keep. And if they can get a few more kills, it would be the game for Kairos as well. Oh no, Artanis caught out. And, oh, look at that. Poured in, and then the Emerald Wind right away to force the disengage, but this doesn't help their problem of losing the Immortal. Now ETC is top, but he still has Stage Dive to come in, so it's not like they can really hard engage this. You see, oh no, Brightwing gets popped once again, and Lunara gets killed as well. Li Ming goes down, all the squishies one by one, and it looks like they might all be dead again. It looks like Muradin does make it out. It's a tough dwarf to kill, but I think Kairos will be happy with what they got. Almost full shield Immortal and 4 kills. Brightwing just going down a lot. I wonder if Blink Heal might have done better for him this game. You see that a lot on this map, Brightwing taking Blink Heal, because you kind of have to get out of those choke areas just by blinking around. So, and there are a lot of choke areas around the Immortals that you have to fight in, so, and you don't want to be caught in them, so. Well, we'll see how they deal with this Immortal defense. It looks like they got through most of the shields already, forcing it into melee form already. And, oh, charge in by Alarak, and he just DPS's down Li Ming. Oh no. Now it looks like the game, Lunara goes down as well, so, and Muradin is next, and everyone is dead. Looks like this is the game. Looks like ever since I first started casting 2+2 = team, I haven't seen them lose. So, but it looks like the 4-0 Kairos, the undefeated team, is going to stay undefeated with a 14-minute Battlefield of Eternity game. Wow, great play. We saw that 2+2 = team did manage to win the first Immortal, but it kind of all fell apart at the second Immortal. So taking a look at damage, look at that Alarak damage. Of course, he is stronger at the beginning of the game, I would say, than he is later on. Or another way of saying that is he falls off a bit, so the game being short does favor his damage stat, but he played really well. He landed all his combos that I saw, so, and he only died once. Alarak is not the tankiest of heroes, and he has to commit to do things usually, so to do this much damage at least, so very nice follow-up. He knew like exactly when to follow up and do what he needed to do. A couple of zero death shoutouts here. Spagooter on Greymane and Siryu on Rhaegar. Very nicely done. Always appreciate people who don't die in a game. And for Greymane, who can, I mean, if you've seen some pub Greymanes, they like to overcommit and then can't get out. So very nice staying alive by the Greymane there. Other than that, I don't see... Oh my goodness, actually, look at this siege damage number by Vala. Holy crap. She has almost double the highest on the other team. Wow, okay, and you know, 30,000 more than even on his team, so did a lot of work with her frost shots there. Alright, so 25-4 was the death score. I'm going to put up the talents so you can get a look at those, and thank you to both teams for playing. Thank you to all the viewers. Couldn't have done it without you. You're the reason I keep doing this, so thank you very much. Reminder to hit follow or check out the YouTube page where the VODs for this will be up, and check out my Extra Life campaign. Take advantage of those incentives or not. Spread the word, or just tune in on November 5th so that I can you can help keep me awake for the 24-hour stream. Thank you once again. Much love to everyone. And I am out for tonight. I think my next cast is tomorrow, so tune in tomorrow. See you all again later.